Good morning, Israel. Good morning. Israel, good morning, believers. It's your brother JD Niger, Word of Truth. Coffee with JD Niger. Yay, I got lots of coffee left. Welcome to my channel, Bible teaching. Bible teaching. Who would have thought? All praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, the Adonai, the El Shaddai, the terrible, coming in the name of His Son. Solomon, and the Holy Spirit of Jesus, the Messiah, the Hamashiach, and the Holy Spirit that is the power of this word, the truth, this truth. When you understand this truth, pop it on GMS, these guys, man. This truth, dude, truth, not truth. It doesn't rhyme with roof, it rhymes with booth, truth, booth, not roof, truth, dumbasses. Salaki. This truth, that truth. The truth, not this truth. Get off the roof. So yesterday I was saying about the book of Esther and how could a Jew hide among the Persians? Oh, shit. How's it say it? Let me get it. We're in Esther, by the way. And verse 10 of Esther 2, Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it. So there's a few times in here where Mordecai, the Jew, the Benjamite, and his adopted uncle, let's see what it says. Now in the Shushan, the palace, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter. So these two Benjamites, she had no mother and father. She was an orphan. But Mordecai, being a Benjamite, he's not going to let her get away. He's going to take care of his uncle's daughter. So they're Jews and they're in Persia. And I made a big thing of it yesterday because I'm so looking for anything to bop GMS with that sometimes I jump a little too soon. So I went into a hard study on the Persian ancestry of the ancient kingdoms. And so when it talks about this Ashurus having this large kingdom, Asheros or however you pronounce it, when it says Shushan right here now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew. So I looked into it. There was quite a dispersion of people. And so basically the Persian people are an Aryan nation. They're more white than most people in the Middle East. So that's where that kind of made me jump, because I know that to be true to a certain extent. Inside my spirit, I know, and just knowledge-wise. You can look at a Persian and go, that's the weirdest looking white person I ever seen. They're beautiful people because they have that darker spirit, but they're a lighter people. So they have that Eastern mentality, but they're in an Aryan body. It's really interesting. I love the Persian people. But what I found out through the study is that Shushan was in the southwestern province. So the people of that area were, you could do the study yourself. It's pretty interesting because Iran has become, over the years, and especially at this time, it was one of those melting pots. The Greeks were coming from this way. The Aryans were coming from this way. The Egyptian/Jews were coming from this way. The Hamites were coming from this way. So it was quite a melting pot. So I stand corrected. This Artaxerxes, or how you say it, I'm just going to call him Xerxes because that was his name also. Ahasuerus was actually Xerxes. It's easier to say Xerxes, so I'll just call him Xerxes. The truth is, let me read it to you so you can get it. Xerxes was a king of Persia and husband of Esther, the Jewess. Xerxes succeeded his father Darius. The book of Esther portrays the king as one ruling a vast empire. Vast. So when you think of vast empire, there was lots of different nationalities, right? Being very wealthy, being sensual. So this dude loved the women. So when we think of that, it's very possible that he's like, I like this Negro woman, this Negro Jewish. So I might have been way off base yesterday, but it felt good just to get angry. And so maybe that's why I didn't feel good, because I jumped before I investigated. He's very sensual, continually giving feasts and being cruel and acutely lacking in foresight. Xerxes banished his queen Vashti, taking a couple years to find a replacement. He finally chose Esther, after which the exciting events concerning Mordecai and wicked Haman took place. In 465 BC, Xerxes was murdered, so on and so forth. So then when it talks about this land, Shushan, and so I looked into the, when I was looking into this, nationalities of Persia, ancient Persia, and even to this day, there are darker / Negro type tribes in this Shushan area. So I stand corrected that maybe Xerxes thought she was a Hamite. Maybe he thought he didn't really care. He just wanted the most beautiful woman, and we know the Jews were beautiful women. Shushan, Susa was the ancient capital of Elam. So the southwestern area of modern Iran, the city reached the height of importance as the residence and especially as the winter capital of the king of Persia. When Cyrus the Great, 550 BC to 529, established the Persian Empire, he made Shushan the capital. At Shushan, Darius the Great built his magnificent royal palace, which later figured prominently in the story of Esther. In fact, most of the events recorded in the book of Esther took place in Shushan. The great prophet Daniel had a vision of the ram and the goat in Shushan, and Nehemiah lived there in exile. So it seems that I jumped the gun, because it's very likely that this southwestern area of Iran was full of different types of dark-skinned people: Egyptians, Hamites, Negro Jews, Benjamin. So, Slovakia, if anyone was offended by that, I jumped the gun, and that was my bad. I guess the same story plays out today. Everyone's good with you. Everyone loves you as a Jew until you tell them you are that, and then they hate you. It's like, if I go to my Christian church and I tell them I'm actually Israel, are they going to go, "Oh, cool, we have an Israelite"? Probably not. They're going to go, "Israel? What makes you think you're Israel?" The Lord told me, you dummy. Anyhow, let's go into what really went on here. I could probably just tell you the story, but there might be some interesting stuff in here. So she becomes the queen. Put the crown on her head. And then Mordecai saved the king's life. He found out that there was going to be a coup against Xerxes. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof Mordecai's name. And when the inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore they were both hanged on the tree, and it was written in the book of Chronicles before the king. These two guys that were planning to overthrow Xerxes got hanged on the tree, right? A lot of hanging. This is where a lot of hangings got going, I guess. So, Esther chapter 3, verse 1. Haman's hatred for Mordecai. After these things, the king Xerxes promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes, and all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and revered Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence him. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, "Why don't you bow?" And now it came to pass, when they spoke daily to him, and hearkened not unto him, they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman became full of wrath. Verse 6, Haman's plot to kill all Jews. And he thought to scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had shown him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. Showed him the people of Mordecai. Does that mean that he said, see those Negroes? See those Negroes that look a little different than those Negroes? Those are Hamites. Those are Jews. See the difference, Haman? So, it was probably, as it is today, not hard to tell. I mean, to a certain extent, it is hard to tell, but you look at someone like Barack Obama, that's a Hamite. They have that round bobblehead, whereas the Negroes are much more refined and have a lot more style to them. Hamites look like stick people, and Jews, I'm just saying that to me they look like stick people. They're longer, they're lankier, they're misproportioned. The proportion of a Jew is more shoulders, more of a V this way, right? So he's like, see the difference? So Haman's going, those are Jews. So maybe they were black. My bad. They just were hiding among the Hamites. King Xerxes didn't care as long as the pussy was good, right? Slakia. In the first month, that is, the month of Nisan, 12th year, they cast pure, that is, the lot, before Haman from day to day and the month to month to the 12th month, that is, Adar. So it was in this month, this time of Pur, casting lots, Purim, who, when they casted lots, who became the first king of Israel? Saul. See how it connects? The lots, that's in the time of the casting of lots. Purim is the lot of Benjamin. These are the warriors. These are the ones that were born last that are going to come in first. Spiritual life lessons, you goofballs. And Haman said unto the king Xerxes, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. So what's he saying? They're you can see them. They're all dispersed among the nation. So again, my apologies. We could see that somehow there was such a diverse nation. It's kind of like in the United States. It's hard to see who the true Jews are, and we're all confused now. It's like, because Israel wouldn't be this angry as these black Hebrew Israelites. There's no way that they could be this angry at Gentiles and at King Saul. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver and have charge of that business to bring it into the king's treasure. And the king took his ring and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them which seems good. Then they scribed it out. Let me just move ahead because... And the letters were sent by post unto all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day, which is the month Adar, to take the spoil of them for a prey. So, it's interesting because Esther probably looked like these people, and so did Mordecai. It's like the king doesn't realize his queen is one of these people. Maybe he doesn't care. He's like, well, I still want my pussy. That's my bitch. Kill all the rest. I have mine. That's how Xerxes was, obviously. He's very sensual, they said. So, let's read on, see if we can get to the bottom of this. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment. The decree was given in Shushan, and the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. Shushan was in confusion. You can't see my fat belly, can you? I don't want to... Let me see if I can sit myself up. There we go. So I don't look like a lazy bum. So that, obviously, Shushan had a lot of these Negro Jews there, I guess, right? And they're like, what? We always got along. They were all okay. They thought it was, yeah, we're Jews among the Persians, but it's all good. Xerxes is taking care of us. We're close to the palace. We're in the southern part where there's a lot of other people that look like us. How's he gonna figure out who's who, right? I think that's why they were perplexed. When Mordecai, the mourning among the Jews, verse 1 of chapter 4 of Esther, when Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province wheresoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. So they were upset. They were like, damn, this powerful king that we're in his main province. We're right here by him. He had nothing bad to say about us before. He just figured we were part of his gig. Now, our Negrohood is being put on display, our Jewness. So maybe GMS has it right about the Negroes. We could still say, yeah. So my initial heart is with that nation, and that's probably why I was so vexed yesterday. I was standing against myself. But anyway, Esther and Mordecai confirmed. So Esther's maids and her chambermaids came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away the sackcloth. Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. So Hathach went forth to Mordecai into the city of the street, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him all that had happened unto him, and the sum of the money that Haman promised the king's treasury to kill the Jews and destroy them. And he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, and showed it to Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go unto the king to make supplication unto him, to beg for mercy, right? And to make, or give him some good knob, and that's basically what that means. She's submitting herself. Give it to him good, so he listens, and to make requests before him for her people. And Hathach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spoke unto Hathach, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called there, is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king. And he told Mordecai Esther's words. In other words, I don't know how we're going to get to him. You try and come in without being summoned, you're going to be put to death. He's sovereign. Mordecai's charge to Esther. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. Ooh. Be careful. He knows you're a Jew now. You're going to walk in there and he's going to go, oh, you're one of them. I didn't know that. Right? For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place, but thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? So he's saying, the Lord's going to do certain things, but I'm not sure you're the one that should be the one having to do it, right? He's like, the Lord's going to deliver the people one way or another, but I don't know if I'm going to let you risk your life for that, right? Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. She said, go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days or nights. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. So she's saying, you know what? We're already screwed. I'm going to have courage. I'm an armor bearer for my people. I will go as the one carrying the weapon. I will go as the Lord's weapon onto him. And if I go down, I went down serving the king, right? The courage of Esther. I'll be back. We'll go into the courage of Esther. I'll give you another 25 minutes of Bible teaching on the courage of Esther. Salakia, again, sorry for jumping the gun on this whole. I guess they couldn't. I guess they couldn't hide. They couldn't hide among the Persians when it was known what an Israelite was, what a Jew was, a Judah of Benjamin, Southern Kingdom. Those were Negro people. Interesting. I'll be back.